certainly got smiles when he created the land of Sunda. But behind all the beauty lies the silent danger beneath it all, the Lembang Fault. Come see the beauty only on See Indonesia.
See the beauty only on See Indonesia.
The sunrise peaks behind the mountains, and the fog slowly drifts through the land in Lembang, where 1,000-year-old history lies beneath this land. As I'm sitting by the mountain, enjoying the morning sun, I can't help but be fascinated by the mountain range that is ages older than me. But it would be a waste to just sit here and see the view from afar. It's time to experience Lembang with my own senses. And the only way to make it even more fun is rock climbing. Yes, you heard it right. I'm about to climb this rock at Gunung Batu. This will be my first time ever climbing a real cliff, so please bear with me. Well, if you ask me if I'm anxious or not, surprisingly, I felt safe, knowing there are professional guides here with me. Yes, I was confused at first. Didn't even know which rock to step on. The key is not to look down and keep your chin up, literally. As I continue to make my move, these grand and powerful rocks that have witnessed such a long history continue to mesmerize me. Long story short, I made it to the peak and broke my first record. Oh, what a joy!
I bet these rocks are way older than me. Perhaps they're thousands and hundreds years old, or maybe even million years older than me. But today, right now, I made it and I climbed this. Woo!
Now, climbing up is one thing, but going down is surely something else.
I just finished my first ever experience of climbing the real cliff, and actually I enjoyed the process of climbing it. But the thing is, I have to wear these specialized climbing shoes, and turns out it really hurts me because it just fits my feet too well, to the point that it really hurts. Here on my feet, you can see it's kind of swollen. But the view from up there was worth it.
Rock climbing proved to be a very pleasurable experience, but I still need to scratch the itch of my curiosity and unfold the hidden story beneath this land.
Look at this majestic view. Lembang is filled with so many unique morphologies, like the mountain, the cliffs, and all of this green highland. It is said that this unique morphologies was created by the surface rupture. And today, we're gonna explore all about it.
So off we go to an expedition to find out what's really behind these wonders. I'm not taking this journey alone because I have Terahma, an earthquake scientist from the National Agency for Research and Innovation of Indonesia, to guide me.
Where are you right now?
So
We're about to see the Lembang Fault Line, which is the main reason why this land is covered in mountains and highlands. But stop there, let's learn the basics first.
Do you know what is Lembang Fault exactly? Let's ask our expert here, Teh Rahma. Hello, Teh Rahma. What is Lembang Fault actually?
Lembang Fault, it is an active fault that lies about 29 kilometers, and from here, the Tebing Keraton until the Padalarang, it has a potential that this line or this structure can move at least one time in 10,000 years.
That's right. Lembang Fault poses a threat in the form of future earthquakes with potential magnitude reaching 6.5 to 7.0. And this is how it all started. At first, a strong force pushed the tectonic plate from the north, causing it to rub against each other, therefore creating huge stresses that caused portions of the rock to break. The places where these breaks occur is the Lembang Fault, resulting in highlands, mountains, and cliff formations all over West Java. Today, the Lembang Fault crosses over the most popular destinations in West Java, such as Maribaya, Bosca, Gunung Batu, and Tebing Keraton. Wait, but hold on. What does it mean when these tourist spots lay on such dangerous land?
Tourism play an important role, and it can have education purposes for the tourism and also for school children, school kids from the elementary school, junior high school, and high school. And also the second role is for emergency. The emergency is both for the tourism sector to make sure the safety of the tourists, but also for the people in the surrounding. Tourism can also play a vital role for mitigation. So along the active fault, if it functions as a tourism, it can provide a mitigation effort, but also education and also for emergency.
Interestingly, Sundanese tradition also mentions the Lembang Fault as the ancestors said, "Don't disturb the meditating snake." Yes, tradition portrayed the fault as a meditating snake due to its length. Hence, people wish it would always be at peace instead of moving rapidly. Lembang Fault may look pretty on the eyes, but how do people in the surrounding areas respond to this silent danger?
See the beauty only on Sea Indonesia.
I'm all soaked and wet right now because of the rain, but that doesn't kill my spirit because I'm about to meet the local heroes that protect the people and the land of Sunda. Let's meet relawan penanggulangan bencana Lembang. Punten Pak, lagi briefing ya? Boleh ikut Pak?
Relawan penanggulangan bencana Lembang, Lembang Disaster Action Volunteer Group, was born in 2019 as a local initiative to educate the public on the danger of Lembang Fault. Unlike scientists who educate with data, this group educates local with fun and like activities, such as trekking along the fault.
Ini gimana cara pendekatan yang betul-betul mudah diterima oleh masyarakat dengan bahasa lokal, ya, dan tidak menimbulkan ketakutan gitu, tapi justru menyenangkan. Nah, untuk itulah RPBL mengemas sebuah program namanya Susur Sesar Bikawanoh Lembur gitu. Jadi sambil menyusuri Sesar Lembang, kita menyebutkan nama-nama tempat di sekitar itu yang terkait dengan mitigasi bencana.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Now, I'm curious to know more about this trekking program. So, I decided join them.
So now we're going trekking the some areas of Lembang Fault, and I guess the trekking road is kind of extreme, so just be careful. Do you see that building over there? It was meant to be built as a hotel in the first place, but the construction stopped at the year of 2018 because it lies exactly at the heart of Lembang Fault, and it could pose a very dangerous threat to the building and the surrounding areas. Kang, tunggu Kang!
We trekked down the hill, and I almost slipped a few times because of how slippery the ground was. But it was not just because of that. This trek lies exactly at the fault scarp, making the land very fragile and prone to landslide. After witnessing the fault with my own eyes, we continue our expedition to the Lembang village now. We arrived at the right place at the right time. Lembang Disaster Action Volunteer Group is holding a workshop for the village's women.
Ibu terang tuh hartosna sesar.
Sudah berhasil mengalahkan.
Mohon janten kan ibu-ibu biasanya zaman ayeuna mah pada ngalahirkeun teh sok disesar, dibelek nya bunya, disoekeun. Tah ieu ge sami.
As a participant, I must say, this is quite an insightful session. They taught us a lot about first aid procedures on earthquake victims, especially to treat fractures and broken bones. For this, the first step is to lay them down on a solid ground. Then, we gotta find some wood sticks and bind them tightly around the broken limbs. I hope any of us will never have to experience this. Okay, so here comes the interesting part, the earthquake simulation. As soon as we feel the ground shaking, we need to get something solid, such as chair, to protect our heads as we continue to run outside. But if it seems impossible to go outside, you can hide under a strong table or desk, as it could protect you from injuries.
Atas terjadi perkumpulan ini, saya sebagai warga di sini menambah pengetahuan umumnya, khususnya buat keluarga saya. Kalau ada terjadi apa-apa, udah tahulah ilmunya gimana untuk menyelamatkan diri. Cara-cara di praktek yang tadi mungkin kita lebih bisa mengamalkannya atau gimana di kejadian, nggak gugup nantinya buat ada kejadian itu gitu.
That's right. The purpose of this workshop is to introduce the Lembang Fault and the threat it poses. But more than that, it aims to teach resilience to locals as they have to live side by side with the silent danger that sleeps beneath this land. nature. And so, I went to this floating market to satisfy my growling stomach. This market sells various dishes ranging from street food to traditional cuisine. What makes it really unique though is that they sell it on a boat floating on a lake. And this place surprisingly has a unique geofact.
Okay, let's go get some food.
Yes.
Look at that. So I'm getting this rice cake with chicken curry because I just need something warm for my sensitive stomach. Oh, I can't wait to start eating. Makasih ya, Teh.
Chicken curry with rice cakes is a local specialty of Bandung, made with garlic, pepper, ginger, and coconut milk. It's a perfect meal to eat on a cloudy day like this.
This rice cake is so soft. You can see it here. It melts in my mouth and it mixes really well with the chicken, eggs, and the broth.
After filling up my stomach, now I'm ready for a market tour. Ah, this lake is so big. I feel like sailing on it. Nah, just kidding. Football hopping? Now that one I will definitely do.
Look at this view. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Now, people may think that this lake is man-made. The truth is, experts say that this lake was created because of the Lembang Fault ruptures that happened many, many years ago. The result is this beautiful lake that we see on the present day.
Many people may not know that this floating market is caused by the Lembang Fault. That's why it boasts such a wonderful natural view. When we think about it, while the fault may pose a threat, but on the other side, this geological phenomenon also paints some of nature's greatest masterpiece. Still don't believe it? Well, let me show you more proof of it.
Look at this hot natural spring. Oh. Man, this feels really good.
Now, you may wonder, what does this have to do with the Lembang Fault? Well, the truth is, this Maribaya Natural Hot Spring is located near the Cikapundung River that was affected by the fault rupture in the past. To put it briefly, this hot spring is also the fascinating result of that geological phenomenon. Without it, I won't be able to soak in this luxurious relaxation that my body deeply needs.
Oh, after a long, exhausting day, this is exactly what I need. The warm, natural hot spring with the music of waterfall accompanying it. Look at this view. I will stay here all day if I could.
Thank God I came here on weekdays because I could stay long in my own private pool without anyone bothering me. Oh, it feels like my body is brought back to life, fully recharged and reborn. myself in the hot spring felt incredible. Deep down, I knew I had to come to the source of that waterfall noise. So here I am, finding the path to the waterfall to see all about it.
Welcome to Curug Cutawari.
Oh my god. You see that waterfall? It's very gorgeous, as if it just appeared out of a fairy tale. I can't believe this waterfall was naturally created because of the Lambang Fault phenomenon. How could a deadly event give birth to something so beautiful? What a paradox it is.
This majestic waterfall is one example of many natural wonders created by the Lambang Fault. You can hear the sound of it. It's becoming a music to my ears.
I've witnessed a million-year-old rock formation, saw the Lambang Fault line from the sky view, got immersed in village activities, and be mesmerized by the nature's miracle. And that's how we have reached the end of our Lambang Fault expedition now. As I rest my sight on the grand waterfall, I can only wonder how strong and fragile this earth is for bringing the gifts of nature and abundance to our lives. As Earth cares for us, it also warns us of the unknown that lies beneath it. But the question remains still. Will we listen or will we ignore the sign?
harus waspadai bahwa sekarang sesar Lembang itu pada tahap akhir dari siklus gempa buminya, dalam artian pada akhir pelepasan energian, dalam artian akan terjadi gempa bumi di masa mendatang, dan ancaman ini jelas nyata di daerah Bandung Raya ini. Pagi, kami dari Pusat Studi Gempa Nasional Pokja Geologi, kami hari ini akan melakukan survei dan kunjungan penelitian lokasi sesar Lembang di kilometer 6 di daerah Ngamprah. Kita nggak bisa akan tahu itu besar gempanya sebesar ini, di waktu ini, jam ini, detik ini, itu kita nggak bisa. Yang kita bisa dapatkan informasinya bahwa di situ ada sesar aktif yang namanya gempa bumi, dia itu kan memiliki periode ulang. Kalau bahasa awamnya kan ulang tahun gempa, ulang tahun gempanya gitu. kira-kira antara 170 sampai 670 tahun. Breaknya kan panjang sekali. Makanya kalau saya ditanya kapan akan terjadi gempa, bisa 100 tahun lagi, bisa 50 tahun lagi, bisa 5 tahun lagi, bisa besok. Saat ini kita berada di Desa Pasir Langu, Kecamatan Ngamprah, Kabupaten Bandung Barat. Di lokasi ini adalah lokasi yang penting dalam penelitian sesar Lembang karena di sini kita menemukan adanya morfologi pergeseran sungai yang sangat jelas. Saat ini kita berada di jalur sesar Lembang di kilometer 5,5 dan kita berada di dasar Sungai Cimeta, dan di sini ada bukti adanya sesar Lembang ini. Jadi di sisi sebelah kanan saya ini, dia ini adalah unit satuan Breksi, kemudian lavanya ini dia terputus. Jadi sesar Lembang ini jika dia terjadi gempa bumi, bidang inilah yang bergerak. Sesar itu adalah bagian bumi yang dia tuh retak, kemudian dia itu membentuk bidang yang memanjang. Nah, di sini jalur sesar Lembang kita sudah petakan dengan baik dengan notasi kilometer, mulai dari kilometer 0 di daerah Ngamprah di sini, kemudian sampai di lokasi ini tuh di kilometer 5,5 menerus sampai di kilometer 29 km itu capable bisa menghasilkan gempa bumi magnitudo antara 6,5 sampai 7 skala momentum gempa bumi. Dan yang terkena itu tidak cuma Lembang tapi seluruh Bandung Raya, termasuk Kodia Bandung, Kota Bandung, Purwakarta dan sedikit Sumedang, tapi semuanya akan mengalami goncangan itu. Seluruh jalur ini sepanjang 29 km itu dia robek di permukaan sampai ke memotong seluruh bangunan apapun yang ada di permukaan itu. Jadi di situ ada rumah, bangunan, semuanya akan robek. Itu akan hancur semua. Itu adalah kita sebut sebagai surface rupture atau retakan permukaan gempa bumi. Maka itu harus memberikan building code, jadi kode pembangunan yang harus membangun bangunan tahan gempa dengan nilai besar magnitudo gempa bumi yang ada di sesar Lembang itu.
Pada prinsipnya gempa tidak pernah membunuh. Yang membunuh adalah bangunannya yang roboh. Jadi kritikal adalah membangun bangunan yang tidak roboh. Artinya bangunan tahan gempa. Dari sisi engineering kita rencanakan secara baik, kita laksanakan secara baik, kita awasi secara baik, maka bangunan aman. Tetapi juga perlu penegakan hukum dari legal aspek ya. SNI kita sudah punya. Sejak 1977 kita sudah punya standar bangunan tahan gempa. Kemudian implementasi. Saya kalau bicara rumah, gedung itu kita bicara sistem. Ya. Sistem itu kan tadi saya sebut misalkan ada rangka, balok, kolom dan komponen lainnya, lantai. Kalau kita pakai kayu, ya betul. Ya, dia ringan, semakin ringan tentunya beban gempanya nanti akan yang diterima energinya kan kecil, walaupun ringan ya tetap dia akan rubuh. Jadi kalau sistemnya, jadi bicaranya sistem ya. Kalau sistemnya struktur, konfigurasi strukturnya atau rangkaian dari detail sambungan-sambungan koneksi hubungan antara balon dan kolom dengan lantainya tidak benar, ya pasti akan rubuh.
Saat ini kita berada di kilometer 18 sesar Lembang, jadi tepatnya kita di atas Gunung Batu. Kalau prinsipnya kita hidup dengan ancaman sesar aktif sesar Lembang itu kita harus hidup membangun kota dengan ancaman itu nomor satu ya terdepannya. Surface rupture sepanjang jalurnya itu jarak 15 meter kalau kita mengikuti standarnya Amerika, 15 meter kiri kanan berarti total 30 meter itu tidak boleh dibangun bangunan apapun. Tetapi dimanfaatkan untuk jogging track, untuk ladang itu tidak ada masalah. Tapi untuk bangunan-bangunan sekolah, rumah tinggal itu jelas tidak boleh. Terus kemudian goncangannya itu pemerintah harus membangun dan mengajarkan ke masyarakat membangun bangunan tahan gempa, itu harus.
Dari pemerintah juga sudah melakukan upaya-upaya untuk mengingatkan, dan termasuk kita sedang mempersiapkan sebuah cetak biru yang namanya West Java Resilient Culture
terhadap skenario kalau sesar lembang terjadi. Ini mutlak memang harus dilakukan. Gunanya apa? Nanti kalau memang terjadi kejadian, pemerintah sudah mengetahui berapa ribu bangunan rusak, berapa ribu bangunan kolaps, berapa ribu nyawa kerugian, dan itu bisa dipetakan secara detail.
Yang perlu dicermati adalah bagaimana masyarakat menyikapi potensi kebencanaan ini untuk lebih bijak dalam melakukan permukiman. Jadi jauhi patahan tersebut sebisa mungkin, kan begitu ya. Jangan sampai nanti menyesal gara-gara tidak pakai ilmu, mendapatkan kebencanaan yang seharusnya bisa dihindari.